Hey there, friends, it's Walt. So this is one of my very favorite weeks of the year. It's the week in which we celebrate the winter solstice. And it is that time of the year in the Northern Hemisphere where the days stop getting shorter and literally the Earth pivots and begins to turn back toward the sun, toward the light, toward the warmth. And I love this week because for as long as I can remember, I have grappled with seasonal affective disorder, which is biochemical, the dark causing a decrease in serotonin, that up chemical, that neurochemical that causes us to feel more optimistic, more hopeful. And so I grapple with feelings of depression and gloom, and I actually have to do stuff like get outside more and journal under my full spectrum lamp. And so I intercede in this process, but I always look forward to this moment where literally we begin to turn back toward the light, toward the sun, toward the warmth. And as humankind, we have celebrated this moment for as long as humans have roamed the earth. In fact, many of our holidays around this time of year have been borrowed or appropriated from these celebrations around the return of light and warmth, the coming back to light, the celebration of light. And this turning point is an opportunity for each one of us to stop and to think about how we want to turn and shift. It's a literal moment in time where we have the ability, if we're mindful and intentional around it, to look at how we can turn back toward light and warmth and hope in our own lives and in the world. If anything from these last 20 months, 22 months or so, there's a sense of gloom, a sense of fatigue, a sense of just when will it ever stop? And so many of us are weary. There's this deep cultural weariness and this sense that everything is just a blur, that time has become very blurry, that time has become borderless and boundaryless. And it's like a bad version of Bill Murray's Groundhog Day. Every day the same as the next. And yet this moment in time, this pivot point, this turning point, if we seize this moment, allows us to be conscious and intentional and mindful about the changes that we want to make in our own lives. And it's important to do because even in the best of times, we lose the way, we lose the roadmap. There's a beautiful poem by T.S. Eliot called Ash Wednesday, and it's about turning and turning and turning again. The great religious writer Karen Armstrong wrote her second memoir around this idea of turning. Her memoir is called The Spiral Staircase. And I love that metaphor when I'm working with some of my executive coaching clients because it's so easy to feel like, wow, I'm in this place again. I'm stuck again. Do we really have to revisit this again? Can I ever get beyond this? And the spiral staircase metaphor is wonderful because if you think about the spiral staircase, we're climbing higher, and we're actually looking at something that might appear to be the same. It might look like the same thing, but we're looking at it from a different perspective. And every time we do that, we have the opportunity to grow and to evolve and to make different choices again. And so this is a turning point in our lives for each of us. This moment, this winter solstice moment, And so I invite you to stop and to reflect around this moment and think about the staircase that you've climbed over the last year or 2 years or 3 years or a decade or more, and think about that evolution, think about that turning, and think about the turning that you want to intentionally create as you move forward into the last days of this year and onto the threshold of a wonderful new year. The turning point. The turning point is here. The point where we get to turn back to light and warmth and hope. Have a wonderful solstice, wonderful holidays, and let's rock 2022. Make it a great rest of the day, great rest of the week. Talk soon.